All right, welcome to the Explainer. What if you could do more than just use the crypto platforms you're on every day? What if you could actually own a piece of them? Well, today we're going to break down exactly how that's possible.
Okay, so let's just dive right in. We're going to use Minswap. That's a decentralized exchange on Cardano as our main example. And you'll see how this whole journey, from being a user to becoming an owner, it's not some extra feature tacked on at the end. Nope, it's built right into the protocol's DNA from the very beginning.
So this whole path to ownership, it really starts with a concept you might have heard of, yield farming. The easiest way to think about it is you're getting paid in the platform's own token just for helping the thing run. For Minswap, this is the main way they get their governance token, the Min token, out into the world. It's like their way of inviting you to take that first step towards becoming an owner.
And this quote, man, it really gets to the heart of the whole philosophy. This isn't just some gimmick, to get more people clicking around. It's a very deliberate choice. The goal is to build a protocol that, from the ground up, is owned by the very people who use it every day.
So how does this actually work in practice? Well, it's surprisingly simple, really. First, you put some assets into a liquidity pool. When you do that, the system gives you back something called LP tokens. Just think of them as a receipt for your deposit. Then you take that receipt, your LP token, and you stake it in what's called a farm. And that's it. You immediately start earning dollar mine rewards. You were literally getting paid every single second just for helping the exchange run smoothly. Okay, but that brings up a really important question, right? With all these different pools, how does Minswap decide where the rewards go? If you just spread the rewards out evenly everywhere, that wouldn't be very smart or efficient. Minswap needs a way to aim these valuable MIN tokens, to point them exactly where they're going to have the biggest impact on the exchange's health and its future growth. And that's where their smart reward system comes into play. It's basically a formula, and what it does is rebalance all the rewards every 2 weeks, using actual, real data pulled right from the blockchain. So let's break down the 2 key things it looks at. You see, the system strikes this really clever balance. On one side, it's looking at the 30-day average trading volume. This is all about rewarding the pools that are already super active and generating a lot of transaction fees. But on the other side, it's also looking at TVL, or total value locked. This part is about encouraging more liquidity in pools that need it, which is crucial for reducing slippage and making trades cheaper for everyone. So it's this great mix of rewarding what's working now while also fueling future growth. But here is the really critical part. While both of those things matter, volume is weighted 9 times more than TVL. 9 times! So what does that tell you? It tells you the system is laser-focused on rewarding pools that people are actually using. This whole setup is designed to make sure the rewards are super cost-effective and are building up the long-term health of the DEX, especially as it aims to eventually run on trading fees alone. Okay, so you've gone through the process, you've earned your mine tokens. Now what? Because earning them, that's really just the beginning. The real power, the fun part, comes from what you can actually do with them now that you're an owner. Right, this is where we shift gears a little bit. We're moving away from just earning tokens and into actively getting a piece of the platform's success. See, your mine tokens aren't just something to buy and hope the price goes up. No, they have real, genuine utility that can actually put crypto back into your wallet. And this is where it gets really powerful. There's this concept called real yield. Here's how it works. A tiny slice of the fee from every single swap that happens on the platform, 0.05%, gets collected. And then it's paid out directly to people who stake their dollar min. So think about that. You're not just getting more of the platform's token. You're earning a share of the exchange's actual real-world revenue. And it's paid out in a major crypto like ADA. That's a game changer. And what's cool is you get to pick your own strategy. You've got options. You can go for the long haul and lock up your tokens for 9 months. That'll get you the highest rewards, and it kind of signals your belief in the project's future. Or, if you want to stay flexible, you can go with liquid staking. You get a smaller reward, sure, but you keep the total freedom to pull your tokens out whenever you want. It's a classic trade-off, right? More yield for more commitment, or more flexibility for a little less yield. But it's not all about earning rewards. Owning ZOING gives you something that's maybe even more powerful. A voice. A real say. This is the moment you stop being just a user and you become a co-owner.
someone who can actually influence the future of the protocol.
The principle is about as simple and democratic as it gets. One Min token equals one vote. But here's the really brilliant part. It doesn't matter where those tokens are sitting, whether they're just in your wallet or they're working for you in a liquidity pool or even staked to earn that real yield we talked about. They all count. Your voting power is always there. You never ever have to choose between earning rewards and having a say.
Now, of course, a single vote isn't going to change the world on its own. For the whole system to be stable and to make sure it can't be easily manipulated, there has to be a minimum number of votes cast for a proposal to even be considered. That minimum threshold is a concept called quorum. And for Minswap, that magic number is 25 million Minswap. So for any proposal to actually pass and become binding, it needs the combined voting power of at least 25 million tokens behind it. This quorum is what guarantees that any big changes have real significant community support. It's what makes the whole thing genuinely decentralized. And really, that's what this is all about. That's the end goal. Every single thing we've talked about so far, from the yield farming to the staking to the governance votes, it's all another step on the path to building a protocol that is truly 100% owned and operated by its users. But hold on. For a protocol to be truly community-owned, it needs one more thing. It has to be self-sustaining. It can't just keep printing new tokens forever to pay for things, right? That's not a long-term plan. And this is where the DAO treasury and a really cool idea called protocol-owned liquidity come into the picture. So, protocol-owned liquidity, or POL for short, just think of it like this. The exchange itself has its own permanent savings account. Instead of basically renting all of its liquidity from users like you and me, who might decide to pull our funds out tomorrow, the protocol actually owns a chunk of that liquidity itself. This creates this incredibly stable foundation of liquidity that's always there, which is good for absolutely everyone. And this treasury, it isn't just filled out from one place. No, it's fed by a whole bunch of different income streams. We're talking about funds from its very first launch event, fees from its launchable service that helps new projects get started, and even a portion of the monthly batcher fees from the network. This diversity is so important. It means the treasury is strong and self-sustaining because it's not dangerously relying on just one single way to make money.
So let's just trace that entire path one more time, from start to finish. You begin as a simple user, earning your very first tokens through yield farming. Then you put those tokens to work, earning real revenue and gaining a voice in how the platform is run. And finally, you graduate. You go from being just a user to a true part owner of a self-sustaining piece of financial infrastructure. That's the full circle. And all of this, it brings us to the biggest question of all, doesn't it? Because the model we've seen with Minswap, it's not just about one crypto project. It's really a potential blueprint for a whole new kind of finance, one that's more open, more democratic, and truly owned by the community it serves. So the final thought I want to leave you with is this. When the users become the owners, what does the future of finance actually look like? Thanks for joining us for this explainer.